Suddenly I began to feel something strange inside myself like a storm. I remembered that 2 or 3 records had played since we had had the drinks, and now everyone was beginning to look at me. The palms of my hands were sweating, and I could feel droplets of moisture on my scalp at the back of my neck. The room seemed unusually quiet, and as Joe got up to close the window shades completely, I thought, they're trying to poison me. Why? Why would they try to poison me? My whole body was tense at every muscle, and a feeling of weird apprehension swept over me, strangled me, suffocated me. When I opened my eyes, I realized that it was just Bill who had put his arm around my shoulder. Lucky you, he was saying in a slow-motion record on the wrong speed voice, but don't worry, I'll babysit you. This will be a good trip. Come on, relax. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. He caressed my face and neck tenderly and said, honestly, I won't let anything bad happen to you. Suddenly he seemed to be repeating himself over and over like a slow-motioned echo chamber. I started laughing wildly, hysterically. It struck me as the funniest, most absurd thing I had ever heard. Then I noticed the strange, shifting patterns on the ceiling. Bill pulled me down, and my head rested in his lap as I watched the patterns change to swirling colors, great fields of red, blues, and yellows. I tried to share the beauty with the others, but my words came out soggy, wet, and dripping, or tasting of color. I pulled myself up and began walking, feeling a slight chill which crept inside as well as outside of my body. I wanted to tell Bill, but all I could do was laugh.
I remember starting to get dizzy and sick to my stomach. I guess I tried to call Mom and ask her to come over and get me and the baby when I realized that somebody somehow tripped me. It's all very unclear because when I try and think back, it's like I'm looking through a fuzzy colored lights, but I do remember trying to dial home and taking eternities to get each number to the end. I think the line was busy. I don't really remember what happened, except next I was screaming and Gramps was there to help me, but his body was dripping with blazing multicolored worms and maggots which fell on the floor behind him. He tried to pick me up, but only skeleton remained of his hands and arms. The rest had been picked clean by wriggling, withering, slithering, busily eating worms which seeped on every part. They were eating and wouldn't stop. His 2 eye sockets were teeming with white, soft-bodied creeping animals which were burrowing in and out of his flesh, and which were swirled into one another. The worms and parasites started creeping, crawling, and running towards the baby's room. I tried to stomp on them and beat them to death with my hands, but they multiplied faster than I could kill them. And they began crawling on my own hands, arms, face, and body. They were in my nose, my mouth, my throat, choking me, strangling me. Tapeworms, larvae, grubs, eating my flesh, crawling on me, consuming me. Gramps was calling me, but I could not leave the baby, nor did I want to go with him, for he frightened me and nauseated me. He was so badly eaten I could barely recognize him. He kept pointing to a casket next to his, and I tried to get away, but thousands of other dead things and people were rushing inside and forcing the lid down on me. I was screaming and tried to claw my way out of the casket, but they wouldn't let me go. From the shape I'm in now, I guess when I tried to get the worms off me, hunks of flesh and hair came out in my own hands. How I cracked my head, I don't know. Maybe I was trying to beat the bummer out of my skull. I don't really remember. It seems like such a long time ago, and writing this down has got me incredibly tired, and I've never been so tired in my life.